Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. Got a little bit of a conundrum. I tried something, but it's not working right now. So we're gonna have to continue, we're gonna have to do what we've got available, and we'll see if things work. But as I said in the last episode, they were changing the miles. I wasn't a huge fan of that, but there's one job out of here, and that job exceeds what should be the 250-mile maximum that I'm able to take right now. Because I'm doing quick jobs, I can't just drive to another city. I was initially thinking I can do that. I mean, I could drive to another city that I could pull from, but as you can see, everything's over 250 right now. And I think that has to do with the fact that I took this job. All right, so I've tried a few different things. I've even gone back to the old, like the job before I took this to Uvalde from Iran. Then I couldn't get this job to Uvalde to appear because what I've done is I have changed my job length to 50%, as I talked about. But then even after having done that and then loading, it doesn't appear to redo these jobs. I can't quick travel anywhere. But what it did seem to do when it did create the jobs from Iran, I did have shorter jobs. I did experience what I thought I was going to see, but it's at least getting me closer to what I need. So I think in this case, I don't have a choice. I'm going to have to take this longer job this time, so this will be a longer episode. But we're going to take these from Uvalde to Roswell, take this load of lumber, get it done. Looks like we need to get there by, this is 12:46 p.m., which is interesting. Oh, on Friday. Yeah, because I might actually have to sleep on this one. It's 494. It's 60 miles an hour. That could be 8 hours. You know, it says 8 hours 51 minutes. So we may hit a point where we do need to sleep. So if we do, that'll be fine. We'll get over. But yeah, I'd rather not progress at this kind of pace, because that isn't initially what I wanted to do. If I change my mind later, I can set the job offers to change. But for now, I'd like to honor what I was thinking of doing. But we may also run into a situation where at a small town, we just may get nothing different that we can pick from. And we may just be forced to take a longer job because of the mod they've done. So in the way, I mean, it doesn't break the process too much. It just, yes, it lowers the number of loads you need to do, but pretty much kind of keeps the miles similar because the XP hasn't changed. But I still think there would be a much faster move than the original, and I was perfectly fine with the original because realistically, like right now, we're given 600, and where I hesitate a little bit because I can't lower this below 50%. I think the next bounce up is from 600, and then I think it's 1300. At the original distances, at level 3, I would get 650. So I would finally just be able to travel a little bit further than what they're letting me travel initially. But at 1300, if I decrease to 50, that's still 650, which is a good amount larger than 400. So again, I can keep trying. And then I think, again, it goes to 1900, where 50% would be like 850 instead of 650. So I think I'm always a little bit higher in the distance that it may show me than I really would like to be. And I think it just runs that way the whole time. But at this point, we're going to go ahead and take this and give this run a go. So let's go ahead and move this lumber. All right, so here we are. So Freightliner, one of my favorites. It's a double articulated, so we're probably just going to be dropping it off. So nothing too crazy for parking. Was that place? See, okay. So if we had heavy steel coils, they're suggesting where we want to place them. Right. So we're going to get lights turned on in case it gets dark, because again, as we said, we might need to do some things. Now let's see, where are we here? This might have not been, well, maybe it will be a better way to go. So as long as I can get around the back here. So you can see we've got bay 12, 13, so yeah, we've got like 11 bays on one side. Probably another 11 on this side, but yeah, bay 5 is where we had parked our load. They're there. They're still there. That is cool. That's always nice. So our tubes are still present. So 495 miles. So there with that's the Freightliner. I know where things are. Okay, we have to turn left. I know that. What? Sorry. Could have a fire engine coming.
Make a U-turn.
I don't need to make a U-turn. What do you mean? Very confused, but okay. I mean, I'm kind of making a U-turn, but not really. Alright, so I mean, this won't be an incredibly long episode as things go, in theory. It's telling me it's going to take 27 minutes, which is, you know, within about the 30 minutes of where we had things going, but it's just longer than we were allowed before. And so what I did like, so we'll, you know, we'll have conversations about that. I guess let's get ourselves on the road. So yeah, they don't have a stop sign, so we just really need to get traffic cleared, and I don't know that he's going to pull out at any point. So maybe after this car, maybe not. Alright. Okay, so he's going there. I'm gonna pull out. We don't have anybody coming the other way. So we're good. We'll get over to the right lane, just because I assume that's what we'll need. So the Leona River, as we had talked about. I'm not sure I want to really line up here. If I could go straight, that would be great, but and maybe we will. So then we'll be able to look at things, but it's the... So I don't know the Uvalde Memorial Park here. I don't know if this has something to do with the school shooting they had several years ago. You know, because this again would be a more cities thing that got put in here. This isn't one of the cities, I think, that was present in the base game. Maybe it was?
Go straight.
I don't know. I don't remember. I'm thinking we're going to get stuck at another light here. There's just a lot. And it is telling me to go straight, though. But we're going to have to kind of pull over to see this. Because I'm thinking, you know, if they were to include something, it would be...
Keep right. And then turn right.
No, it's not gonna do it, so... We will, Right. So it won't... Okay, I'm not backing up. But if I don't have this on, I apologize for the annoying beep, but if I don't have this on, like, everything's just gonna pull forward, and, I mean, we may get stuck at the light again. So this is kind of crazy. Well, let me see. If I go here... There's nothing that really stops me from doing that. Yeah, we can get on here. I may do that because it looks like we'll get 2 viewpoints, and hey, at least we'll get something out of this, right? So I may just go straight. Alright. So it looks like the left turn just got released. As I said, I just don't know what we're going to have as far as light time. But we'll start talking about it a little bit. So the disagreement I had, and it was a few videos ago, it might have been episode 10, 11, where I started to talk about, you know, this change is brewing and I'm not a fan of it and so forth. So let me explain why I am not a fan of what has occurred. Because yes, while on the surface, there's not really a difference. Like the XP is the XP, I in theory need to drive the same number of miles and all that. So we wouldn't have made it over there anyway, so it's not like this slowed us down any. And we will go a little bit slower, obviously, traveling down the roadways here, so it'll take a little bit longer, but I'm sure people won't mind. If you want to see things, you know, this will get us to see other areas. But anyway, so the challenge was, because everything's a multiplier to some degree, it will have an impact. It won't necessarily here, because let's say I drove 250 instead of 494. It multiplies it by whatever it is, because we get more than 1 XP per mile at the base level right now. Like, they're not changing any of the multiplier there. But what this will mean is, like, I'm gonna make over 500 XP out of my 16,000 just on this trip. And then, you know, we're gonna have the parking, and if we had like a different type of load, so let's say I had a fragile load, let's say I unlock that with my first skill point, and I have a fragile load, and I drive that longer distance, because again, otherwise we would have only been able to go to 400 instead of 600, and alright, so now I'm just trying to see where, because I don't want to drive too far, but somewhere here there will be a pull-out point. Where is it? Not seeing it. Oh, it's right there. I forgot. I'm looking for the big circle or whatever, and we're not going to get that. So it's this here. So we have to stop the engine and then activate the viewpoint. So it is City of Uvalde. So maybe this was here, because I mean, I know modders can make view cutscenes, viewpoints, whatever it is, because they've done it in pro mods and stuff. So I know it can be done. But yeah, it was, I think, Robb Elementary is what I think the school was, where the shooting took place. So if we see anything about that, like the memorial or anything, but just not sure that they'd have that. You know, it's not a wonderful memory. It's not something you want to celebrate. And again, after a period of time, you know, it wouldn't have a meaning. People would be like, why are you showing me this? You know, so especially if they like go to that memorial park or whatever, like that would be different than we'd need. So yeah, my only problem is like traffic's still moving here, and I've got to get out of here. So, alright, well, good news is I should be able to block the road. And that way, because otherwise I'll never get out of there. So but we got that one seen. There's going to be another one that we're going to pass, I think near Klein or after Klein, so that'll be good. But yeah, going back to the thing, like, so if we had fragile, there's a multiplier of 22% or something, and then that would be in play along a much larger set of XP. And so your progression in general will be quicker. So, and it just didn't feel like, hey, that's what I want to do. So that was why I was against it. I just would rather have a much more slow and methodical progression, because the thought is, like, okay, you might start as a small local truck driver for a small group, then expand maybe to, you know, short regional, longer regional. Like, the progression made sense. And I get that. I think the progression that was in there initially was just what was part of the game. So they didn't touch that because they were really more an economy mod than anything else. But then, you know, with the extreme piece, I guess, you know, people were grumbling or something that it was taking too long. So, but I'm okay with that, because at the end, we're driving. So it doesn't really matter what I'm doing in some cases. But anyway, I can't really explain it any differently than that. I mean, I'm always willing to chat with folks. Interesting. I did not realize there was a thing there, but I assume we can get across this one. I'm hoping we'll be clear of the train. If not, we're going to have a problem. But, because I heard the train whistle, but I'm like, well, the gates aren't coming down. So, but I didn't realize there was something there. Alright, yeah, we are clear. So I do also have, I did make the change. We are running the late autumn / mild winter weather, or not weather, you know, foliage mod or whatever. So we stepped away from early autumn, and we're in there, which we will now do for probably a month and a half or so. You know, and we'll see, because I don't know if it's like extreme, like if it's late winter. Like, I wouldn't put us in late winter until like end of January. So we may stay this way for 3 months. You know, we'll see. So, and again, in Texas here, South Texas, I'm not quite sure what things will look like. So where was, okay, so it's coming up. So yes, I had forgotten. Again, we're going to go through Del Rio. Okay, now it's going to run us a very different way. So it's not going to run us up to Sonora, but it's going to take us to Sanderson. Oh, and then we're going to pass the Viewpoint there, although we would have looked at it in Fort Stockton already. And then we'll cut through and head on up. Then we'll be going through Pecos, Orla. Again, this one we won't have seen yet, so, and then Carlsbad, Artesia, and Roswell is where we're headed. So, there is something in Roswell. I know I've done the Roswell one, I think, in Back to Basics, so I'm less worried about that. And again, I may have done the Uvalde thing, but so if we pass things, we'll take a peek at them. But like here, I don't think there's an SCS city in this area. I would think whatever this is showing us is something different. I think it said Mad River, but I could have just read that really wrong, given that it's kind of blurry at this speed. But we're coming up here. Daily Deals. Pizza Hut or something? Don't know. No, Red Lobster. Interesting. A lot of them have shut down. Alright, so again, we'll go over here. Because, yeah, the challenge now is we can't see... oh goodness, is it in here? I'm guessing it's got... oh, there it is. Alright. Like, it doesn't have the big... so the icons thing is cool for parking. It's much more of a challenge for this stuff. So again, we may be blocking some of the roadway. Right, the city of Del Rio, big country views. So it's probably some base SCS stuff. And Del Rio, Texas certainly sounds... I've heard of the name. I don't know what it would really be, but yeah, I could see that SCS had it included, but we've got some kind of rundown hay storage over there, it looks like. Kind of rusty tops. The Burger King sign's having trouble staying in view here. Because, yeah, I'm assuming all they really do in the viewpoints is just, like, do camera motions in different scenes. So it's probably, you know, place the camera, face it a certain way, move it, you know, and in this case, it's like the path is probably one way, but it's panning as it's going. Seems like this one was longer than the last one, but I could be wrong. Alright, that's probably it, though. It's interesting that... oh, no. That we haven't seen our truck. Usually there's some view, and they include the truck in the view for some reason, so it's a little bit more unpleasant, annoying, whatever you want to call it. Alright. So let's get going there. We'll get into the middle. Just to make sure I can see in the mirror and make sure nothing's coming. Nothing's coming. Alright, and get over to the right lane. There's a police officer. But we're going to be stopped here. So I'm assuming that's the Burger King we were just looking at. But yeah, not anything sorry about that, super exciting. But yeah, we'll see. So normally I would have done the 3 runs, but I kind of want to get back to my PGA Tour rounds because there's excitement going on there. And it's just going to require a good amount of effort as well and good amount of rounds, so I'm eager to play and see how things go. Alright, got the green arrow, but nobody is there. But yeah, we've gone 48 miles. Now again, this is where it'll be a little different because we had 494, but in theory this will be less, so that's good in one way, because if this is accurate, like it's 48 and it's telling me I have 375 to go, so in theory it's going to be like 425 instead of 494, so that's good, I guess. I'm thinking oh no, we keep going straight for a bit.
Keep right, and then turn right.
I guess I'm wrong, okay. So I guess we're going to Sonora. Which is fine. And I'm wondering if maybe it like recalculated when we stopped at the viewpoint. Not sure. Okay, yeah, you pull in front of me because that's what you should be doing. That's how people get killed with trucks, because they do things like that. Because, yeah, the truck can't necessarily stop the way you think you can stop in a car. So keep that in mind whenever you decide to drive around big rigs, because that may be the last time you drive. And it's also very unpleasant on multiple fronts for the driver. So stop putting people in those situations and drive intelligently and safely. So a truck cannot stop the same way you can in a car. So cutting off a truck is very different than cutting off a car. It's not just reaction time. There's, heavy physics behind it as well. You've got tens of thousands of pounds versus your 3,000-pound car. It's not going to get stopped the same way. Oops, alright. I'll just keep accelerating and then we'll adjust it because we got to get up to 55. So doing that manually. Oh, we got to get up to 70 now. So again, it shouldn't be too terribly far up here to Sanderson, but then we'll get to I-10. Well, maybe we're not, because Sonora's over that way, so maybe we are cutting over. It just included a turn to the right somewhere that I wasn't clearly aware of. Looks like there's a bridge up there. Now it stopped me really fast. Hopefully it'll change soon. There we go. Alright. So, yeah, it's too early to sleep now because it would be 10 p.m. So, like, if we do need to do that, we'll see what it looks like. But in theory, we're supposed to be here between 6, although I thought it was 6 p.m., 6 a.m. or noon on Friday. So I wonder if those trestles to the left are trains. Alright, didn't read the river again. It was like too late before I looked. Whatever this is, it's big and wide. It's kind of lake looking, but good. I don't think we're along the coast, so let's say it could be an inlet from the Gulf of Mexico, but I don't think that's what we're looking at either. Alright. Yeah, I have since published and edited, rendered, and published episode 14, which is the one that will have gone up before my PGA rounds. So this one will appear the day after on Wednesday. Okay, that's closed, which I'm fine with. That way we can move along pretty nicely here. Alright, and there's another viewpoint there. So we'll probably take advantage of that since it is on the way. Got kind of a big sweeping turn here. Guessing the pullout is right here. There it is. At least I think there it is. No, is it? Oh, it's over there. This is a hash mark, but I think, yes, it's over in this location here. The Pecos, Pecos River. Oh, I think I went too far. So let's back up some. Yep. You can see it there. There we go. Just go up there. Stop this. Yep. Now that is a view. Pretty cool. So I assume that's the roadway we'll be on. So kind of an interesting set of supports. But it keeps, you know, it keeps the waterway as pretty much as open as it can be. Yeah, overall we've increased our time by 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes in real time with everything we've done thus far. It doesn't mean it won't slow down again. One lonely picnic table with nobody at it. Oh. Big open views for sure. Like it said, big country views. So there's, like I said, you know, I've talked about the areas and just kind of, you know, the scrub, the sagebrush or whatever those plants are. Kind of not my thing. But there is a certain kind of beauty out here. So I get why some people are like, ooh, I want to live out here and whatever, but it is pretty darn desolate. Man, that car came up out of nowhere. Alright, so now we should be okay. We'll go out across the line a little bit, because I don't want to get stuck. Yes, I'm sorry, sir. I was sightseeing. Alright, so we'll accelerate again, but yeah, now we're, instead of 1534, we're at 1538 in real time as to when we'll get there. And in game time, not sure. Ooh. I always hate when they are coming in that way, because it suddenly looks like they're turning sharply, and like then I'm like in danger of hitting them, but it's not what happened. But yeah, it's 375 till empty, and at 305 when I said that, so. Big sweeping turn. But yeah, we're really going to want it to be at least 8 p.m. before I rest. You know, and hopefully it's correct that it's really afternoon, because if it isn't, sleeping is going to completely make it impossible to deliver on time if it's somehow right after midnight. It's like if I, again, it's 10 hours, so if I went to sleep now, I'd be waking up at midnight. Okay. That rest area looked way closer when we were sweeping around, but no, here we are through Sanderson, so we are up here. Ah! Really? That stinks, because that ticket is pretty much my entire job. I hit the brake, but obviously didn't do it fast enough. So that'll hurt a little bit on the money front. Just, you know, taking even longer, because right now the cheapest used truck I can find is still $30,000. And that wouldn't include, you know, anything else. I don't know that we really need anything else, but I also don't think I really want... Come on! Where are these police officers? I'm gonna look. I don't like this. Where is he? Or is there just a camera? Yeah. Unbelievable. I hit my brake immediately. Okay, now I'm doing this job for free. At this point, I think, because I think it was like 300. It wasn't anything massive, that's for sure. Alright, well, welcome to Sanderson, where they've given me 2 tickets. Alright, now we can go to 40. You know what'll happen, then it'll slow us right down again. 45.
Keep right, and then turn right.
Okay, so this is probably then, yep, Fort Stockton is where we're headed to. And that will get us to the interstate. Alright, got a little bit of merge space. So we are good. Alright, he can go 55. Stop the turn signal already. 65. 75. Goodness. Really? I'm not sure I buy this, but... So yeah, we're not even going 55, and this is already starting to seem a little scary. So, a lot of cuts through little mountain path. They're not mountain passes, but they're just to keep going from going up and down and up and down. All right, so the climbing is done. The right lane is ending. And we have traffic. Again, we're gonna drive properly, because there's not a whole lot of point in rushing. So it's gonna take a long time no matter what we do. Alright, so we're coming up on about halfway. There's picnic area. 55. Probably the best I'm going to be able to do here. Alright, I'll put re-engage my cruise so that we can get going again. There's a bit of an unexpected way for it to merge. Where kind of the left lane ends. Alright, Fort Stockton is 40 miles. So, not super far in American Truck Simulator time and distance, but still be a bit. Okay, not quite sure what the speed limit is here, but clearly these folks are in my way either way, so we're just behind them. I'm assuming it's 60. Windmill? Or is it a cell tower? Windmill. Now it's much more obvious. Some sort of cattle ranch or whatever, I'm sure, especially near Fort Stockton. Alright, that was 65. This is 55. Now it's 45. So let's not get yelled at again. And then, yes, we're going to have to go left.
Keep left. And then turn left.
And then you can see this is a dead end for me. So the road does continue. It's possible they will do that. We are now past the halfway point by a good ways, honestly. By about, well, 20 miles split, but yeah, 40 miles. Overall, because yeah, we're down to 193 and I'm at 233.
Go straight.
So yeah, I'm almost positive we looked at Fort Stockton, so I'm not really gonna worry about that. Another train. So yeah, we're still not getting on the interstate here. I don't know that that'll work, because they're all just coming on by. Right, he's waiting, so maybe it'll be worthwhile. Whoa! Thought they had left already. Couldn't see through my A-post. So that was a bit of interesting excitement. Okay, well, I can't turn there. I can turn at this other intersection up here.
Keep right. And then turn right.
There you go. I guess it seems we will be doing so.
Turn right.
Old Volkswagen Beetle there that we just had passed. McDonald's, probably by the highway. I know how that all works. So now we will need to be to the left, so we'll be proactive so that we're not fighting a bunch of traffic.
Go straight.
Alright, so don't want to go that way. Okay, crossed over. Do we not get on here? Guess
Go
not.
straight.
Alright. Thought we'd get on there. It kept going and maintained my momentum much better than I am. Okay, hopefully nobody will go trying to zip by me here. Alright, oil pumping. Not an unexpected sight in Texas.
Go straight.
I don't have a choice, but I get it. So, pretty dry. But definitely getting a lot of just straighter roads. Not as many curves because we don't have anything but flat for the most part.
Go straight.
Alright, so we do have some things coming up. Another big rest area or something. Alright, now I got really, really slow. Like, I am not getting another ticket. Right. 45 it said, so we'll get ourselves to that. Oh, no, that's red over there. Thought it was here. Ecos discovered. So yeah, I have talked about, because yes, I know I'm being quiet, but there's only so many things you can say, and when we're doing a lot of hauling together, probably even less so. So I have said in the beginning, in the first few episodes, there may be times I'm just driving, looking around, not really having anything to share or talk about. So that's definitely what we're experiencing more of on this trip. Because yes, at this point, I would have been delivering. I probably would have been done already. That's the other benefit. If I'm doing a lot of things, it's almost better to do more shorter runs than less longer ones, because the shorter ones are easier to fit in and don't necessarily get me as tired and all that. So, but yeah, it's a weird little psychological whatever. Because yeah, I wasn't tired till I sat down, started driving the truck. So probably it would be good that I don't do this in real life for that reason. Ecos, you like that spur over there for the name? That's cool. I didn't even know Qdoba was still in business, but that was a Qdoba restaurant there on the left. So they're, if nothing else, they're in business here. I do not know what my speed limit is, 35. Alright. That's kind of what we're doing. Like, we're still in town, so I better slow down and not go crazy. So now we're going 30. Mr. Cashew? They just sell cashews out here in the middle of Texas, huh? There's a historical marker over there. That looks like an oil derrick. So that means there's a lot more here than those small pumping stations. Well, I saw it said 65, so get ourselves moving again. Again, we really have like 3 hours till we would stop. I think I'm gonna make it, but sadly it'll just be one run in the daytime here. The last one we started in the pre-dawn hours, and then yes, we made it in the daylight. Oh, lots of stuck vehicles. I'm assuming there's some traffic jam there. So what is this? Orla, I think, was what we were going to discover. So that is coming up, but it looks like a refinery of some sort. I don't know why I was going to say short, but that's what was in my head and coming out. Again, I'm sure we're going to need to slow down, so let me start doing that so that I don't keep adding on to my traffic citations. It's an interesting intersection on the map there, but that's because it's, yeah, one lane through, one lane to the right. Goodness. Truck is going. DirecTV is going. Now I'm going. So, be behind the Swift truck now. See how swift he's really gonna be, or if he's gonna be the bane of my existence. I thought I was on cruise, but you gotta hit a minimum speed before it'll grab, and I guess I was not there yet. So, 65. Don't know if that's... No, it's not a tree farm. That's just random trees in some fenced-in land. Alright, nobody coming, trying to blow by me on the right. Yeah, I would say the save points, there's a little bit of a hiccup, but it's not as pronounced as it is in ETS. And again, we have, I think, 37 mods at this point, now that we've added things to the map and so forth. So it's not a small amount, so there's still something to save, but it's different than 98 mods or whatever we have on the ETS2 side. Alright, under 100 miles to go. So we will be delivering before we need to stop to sleep. Slow down because I was coming up on him. And then I think as we go around that turn, we're just going to merge again, which is terrible because I don't think we're going to have passed him yet. Reduce speed ahead. Thinking we're going to go to the right, so I'm going to start heading over there.
Keep right.
Alright. So, there we go. Is he stopping? Alright. Thought there was a light right there, but it was a trick of the eyes. But yeah, it'll be dark by 6:30, 7 o'clock, so... But it won't be up. If I go to bed now, again, it would be 4 a.m. If I go to bed at 7, it would be 5 a.m., neither of which are likely to... whatchamacallit, have much sunlight. That's what I'm thinking about.
Go straight.
Oh boy, probably too late now. I don't know that this is worth it, because I was going to try to get out from behind the truck, because he'll theoretically accelerate slowly. Not that I'm going to be flying along here with my double trailer of lumber, but initially when I thought it was just the car, I'm like, well, the car will definitely clear the lane for me. Hot dogs, sandwiches, and pizza. Diner. Oh, top says burgers. X. So just kind of get in there. Man, just seems like we're going really slow, which is part of why I don't like super long hauls, because they are difficult in the game.
Go straight.
In anything. I mean, they're difficult in real life too, so... Doodles goodies, I think. I think that's what it says. Ah, boy. Yeah, these little towns, this is kind of what happens. I don't have enough acceleration like a car that I can zip from one light to the next, and by the time I move a block, we're stuck again. Again, given that we're in town, it's all still saying we're 71 miles. We haven't gained any mileage here. Now we are up to like 1547 in real time, so we have added 10 minutes or so with everything that's been going on, so that's why I'm leery when something is 30 minutes, because I'm like, yeah, we're not going to make it in 30 minutes. That's highly unlikely. Always seems like the longest light ever when you're just stuck waiting. So I'm worried around the turn there will be another light. Again, we probably will not accelerate fast enough to make that. Alright. I think I saw 30 as the speed limit in town. And there is another light. And another point to be stuck at. Pods. You want to move. See the commercials on YouTube all the time. I was hoping we'd get moving while I was rolling along a little bit, but clearly was not going to happen. I assume the other side has a big left turn lane. Alright, well, it's not dark by 6 yet, so that's good. But yeah, we've gone from 71 to 70 miles. Oh my goodness. I cannot catch a break here, and good old Carlsbad. Thinking we're in New Mexico already, but we may not be.
Go straight.
Okay, the arrow just changed. There we go. I see the green light through the window, but yes, clearly heading westerly, given that we can see the sun setting. Oh, there's New Mexico loans, so we must have made it into New Mexico, which is great. Alright, 65 is what I'm set at. Is that what this sign is for? It is. Alright. But we're only going 45. I'm sure something will catch us. But we're going downhill, so maybe we'll gain speed quickly. Oh, here comes the rain. Like I thought I had turned my wipers on, but guess not. I do have my lights on, according to what I'm seeing. Move over into the right lane. So we're certainly not going to be one of the fastest vehicles out here. Whoops, whoops, whoops. Why am I not turning? Is it that slick? I have the wheel. Okay, we're clearly unable to maintain traction. I have the wheel turned 45 degrees. So we're going to slow down. That is crazy. Man, I am drifting all over the place. Alright, Artesia. And again, are we going to have all kinds of lights to get through? Because, yeah, there's a lot of roads in this town, and I vaguely recall this name, so this may be an SCS created town too. I don't like the fact we've got the fuel tanker up there, like, he's not speeding up
Go
much.
straight.
Although I am, like, laying on my gas pedal. But we're gonna get stuck at other lights, you know that. So get ready to a long city traversal as well. Yeah, these guys turning right just slow all the traffic down. Oh, come on. Turn.
Go straight.
Alright. Well, now we just have the Jeep. But in theory, I don't know, since they're not crossing, those may just be stop signs. So maybe we just have one on the outskirts of town, another light, and that'll be it. Alright, somehow, there we go. I'm like, somehow we lost my head tracking. Abilene Motor Express, but not from Abilene, Texas. From Richmond, Virginia. But yeah, at this point, doesn't make sense to sleep, but yeah, so we're not gonna gain what I thought we might have gained, which was, hey, we'll get to sleep and then drop off in the morning, but don't think that's gonna happen. Alright, finally, those blinking lights over there, just, is that an oversized load guy? Not entirely. Alright, so yes, no light here, but I would not be surprised if that, yep, I can see it across the road, and it looks red, yep. Even the Jeep didn't make it, he's stuck too. That's a little crazy.
Go straight.
Alright. And yeah, I probably need to look at the rain. I'm not sure when they recommend you change it. So maybe we maintain the same fall rainy, but not sure. Which is, again, I think 45% is what I have rain probability set at, so about half the time we could have some rain. I just have no reaction time. This is a long, long run. And again, even in the normal thing, like, we wouldn't be at being able to do a 500-mile run until our third skill point. Alright, I think we're out of town. We're not eating up miles, so it's hard to say for sure. What's the speed limit? 60? Cool. Just don't know if it's gonna get a little tighter again. Alright, we're gonna lower it to, say, 55 because of the rain. Because clearly I can't make turns in this truck. And I don't have, like, realistic physics or any of that. So, it's interesting. Not that it stays on rails if I don't have the physics mod. Okay, I'm turning again pretty sharply. But it did grip, thank goodness. Is this Roswell? It's 27 miles, so you would think at this point, I mean, no, it's Roswell, now I can see it, but kind of. It's still a bit challenging to read, but we've got 21 and it's going slow, so I'm guessing we're We're on the city mileage thing already. We got some kind of construction, so let's slow down so we're not surprised. Okay, 15 miles.
Go straight.
Alright, so this is, you know, Area 51, UFO land, all of that, if you're unfamiliar with that.
Go
14.
straight.
Whoops. I see green lights right now. But that truck ain't moving.
And then turn left.
Really?
Turn left.
Why does it tell me so late? Now I feel like a complete... I'm not going to use the word because I'm trying to keep it PG. And I wasn't going to use like a really bad one, but I don't even want to do the... It's JA. Someone can figure that out if they need to, but I feel terrible. Like, my intent was not to block all these cars from making progress, but that's literally what I've done. It's interesting, though, because it says 37 degrees. So maybe with it changing the time of year, like all the temperatures and everything work, so... Yeah, we're getting close to this being snow. I don't know if or how that can happen. That is something people are hoping for, though, with the British Columbia thing, is that we might finally actually get seasons in the game. Because people have been asking for that for a long, long time. Definitely not opposed to that. I just don't want, you know, ooh, we need a graphic engine to do something or whatever. Like, all this stuff works now. I'm sure it'll all work as it sits. Okay, I see our location. Alright, we made this one, but we're not making that one. And they are kind of synced together, which a good town will do. It's kind of all the lights go green en masse, so you're not just moving a block and stopping and things like that. But I'm assuming we're just pulling in and having to park, so we'll see how that all lines itself up with. But yeah, my hope was getting these done, but now I probably will get the third route done tomorrow. We'll see. I kind of would have to, because otherwise I'm doing it the same day it's due. So I have talked about, like, I may... If it just starts to get to be a real pain to get these done, they may start to, you know, just be more spread out. So I'm not promising that there will always be one, but what I had promised is if I'm driving, you will see it. But yeah, I'm not... I was thinking at one point, like, oh, I'm going to get way ahead. It just isn't happening, so, you know, and again, like, I almost skipped my iRacing this week, but I'm like, no, I mean, I enjoy that too, but that's, you know, I'm really on the cusp of it kind of, like some people have talked about, it feels like a job, you know, and then it ceases being as fun. So I'm trying to balance that, where if it does start to be like, okay, I'm just driving this truck and there's nothing fun about it at all, like, then I'm doing it too often. Or under too much stress or whatever, but... So, we're turning here somewhere.
And then turn right.
I guess at the light, which of course we're gonna get stuck at. I mean, we're running out of fuel. I don't know why it does that with, oh, really? You're not gonna turn? I hate when that happens. You're like, I can turn on red, but it doesn't let you. But yeah, I have 24 out of 160 gallons, so we're fine, but yeah, they didn't give us a whole lot of extra. Yes, you can see 419. We have 4 miles left, so yeah, 423. So it's about 70 miles less, which is crazy. We would have had like another hour plus to drive yet if the original estimate was accurate. Rain's pretty loud. Hearing it hit everything, so it's definitely coming down. I like the effect on the mirror. They do a really good job with some of these, so kudos to them. It definitely feels real. Alright. We're not going very far. I'm gonna move over to the right. Oh, it's gonna shrink to one lane, but... Alright, we'll get our signal on, so nobody is surprised, but we have a little bit of a roadway here, so I don't have to... Oh, I am sliding. I'm like, what is going on? I was not going that fast. Yeah, total anti-lock brakes there. Wow. That is crazy. Okay, what is happening? There we go. It barely was moving. Yeah, the traction in wet is horrific. So, maybe that's kind of what it does. I don't know. Alright, so it looks like we gotta go over here and then just pull in. So we're not going to get much for this because, again, it's going to be the simplest. So we're going to get, I think, 40 XP is what it will brace us with here. Alright, let's get out here. Get this down. Alright, we did make it. 25, so even simpler, but you can see, so we got 683. Like, that's a big chunk. I mean, we're still only at 5,000. But now, just out of curiosity, and again, I'm here in Roswell. So, okay, why is it not? 518, 397. Come on. I mean, seriously? None? That makes no sense whatsoever. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm set at 50%. Preferred job length, 50%. You know, and this is what I was worried about when people were like, well, just change your setting and you can keep doing that. But for those of us who don't want to do that, then we're not forced to drive. So it's not even letting me do what I want. Like, I have 2 jobs that are 397, but they're still longer than I should have. And both of those are to Holbrook. And some of the issue certainly here right now is, which is why I didn't want to go into New Mexico. So what I may do is God, this is really long. I may go into Tyler, Texas, and then hopefully we're over there where we have, well, I don't know that I'd go into Arkansas and stuff because I don't think they did more cities, Arkansas, you know, but I can maybe stick around Texas. So I'll look next time, or maybe we go to San Antonio. And it's just, all right, where's Greenville? All right. Yeah, everything else, like, I don't want to go to Utah. Don't want to go up there yet. So I'm not too happy with that, because I was thinking for sure when I got here and had it set lower that it would have given me something else. But the challenge we've got is there's not a lot of cities here. Like, we're out in the middle of New Mexico, and we don't have a lot of distance. So I will likely be taking something. And again, there is more cities Utah. So Mexican Hat, Utah was not a city that was there. But again, if we like look at this, like, it's still sparse. You know, we get to Idaho, Washington, it's a little busier, but you know, Montana, all of those, like, they're pretty sparse. You know, when we head out this way, we get really, really sparse. So I'm not looking to get that far out. I'm fine, like, doing work down here in Texas, but it is just making it really difficult. Well, it is what it is, but for those, you know, again, probably nobody will watch this, but that was confident that I had a path. Don't have a path. I'm at, you know, Roswell is one of the sites. We're not using More Cities, New Mexico. It doesn't exist. Yes, so I was verifying, because when they publicly released Nevada in the middle of October, because what they do is, if you're a Patreon subscriber, you get access to it, I think, for a month before they put it out publicly for free. So More Cities, Nevada is out there, but yes, there is no New Mexico. I don't think there's an Arizona yet. You know, and I know there's not like Nebraska, Iowa, and all of those. So anything here, even though Iowa looks a little bit more than I think the base cities are, I think that's the east meets north map that also gives us a little bit up here in Canada. So, you know, it's not that I'm opposed to longer routes. It's just right now that's not what I was necessarily looking to do. When I get to them, that's one thing, but I don't know. It is what it is. And I get, if I was a 250 and I hadn't done all the map stuff, like, I might just, you know, be going between two cities all the time. That would be all I could do. But I have options here, and it's just not giving me much. So yeah, I'll likely next time go to Texas, but seeing what I'm seeing now, I'm definitely not doing another route now. That's just too much. So I know I forgot to request, please like and subscribe. You can follow along with everything that's out on the channel. The subscription just gives you an easier way to see things, and likes just help with the YouTube algorithm and getting it out to other people. I will see you next time.